Hello and welcome to my channel, Little Gay Guide. I haven't really posted much about the actual Little Gay Guide in a little while. Um, I got caught up in interviews for us gay men that starts from recognizing that we're gay. What do I mean by that? There is a moment early in our lives that we understand or at least recognize there's something different or altered from the way society is. And in that moment, there is a recognition that we are outsiders. We're looking in, um, be it as how we look at the men in our lives, if we're men, how we look at women in our lives, if we're women. I cannot speak for my trans brothers and sisters, but I can at least induce that that sense of difference come from the inside, and your world shifts. And when your world shifts, you are in a position to either accept it or fight it. My humble beginnings were combative at best and bloody at worst. Um, I've been bullied pretty much consistently through my younger life because I was not so much unafraid, but definitely within my own truth. And I did not know, um, lucky as I was, coming from a very, very loving home, that I can speak to a different truth, or I can put on a facade, or I can save myself from the bullying. And I can thank my own upbringing and my own family in many, many ways. And my gratitude will be nearly endless when it comes to the origin story of both my confidence and of my coming out. Um, but let's start from step one. We're outsiders. When we recognize that, we also recognize that we're different. Those two usually come hand in hand. That realization that we are now somehow either in most societies, even to this day, a pariah of sorts, or at the very, very least, extremely different. Um, it's not the smooth sailing or the templated life that any other person around us in the heterosexual world and the cisgendered world possesses. We come with built-in hardships. Now, I'm aware of my privilege. I'm a white gay dude. I can speak very little to the hardships of others, but I can speak to mine. When I recognized, the very first time I recognized that I am attracted, and of course, the very first signifier is physical, I'm attracted to men, was a daunting one. I was very, very young. Um, there was very zero doubt, or very little doubt, what I was experiencing. It was as clear as day. I am attracted to the man I'm looking at, which happened in this specific case to be the lifeguard in our country club back in Israel, uh, which I guess back then was a very young man, but through the eyes of a 7-year old, he was an adult, masculine one at that. And that click, that moment, I knew. I was debating putting this on the video or not, but the reality is I don't want this to be just a PG channel of very cut and dry stories. The very first time, and that lifeguard that I saw was probably in his mid 30s, and all he did was lean over the edge of the pool with a humongous piece of meat hanging on what would probably be 70s shorts today. And that moment that I reflected on, that of understanding, was then and there. There was zero doubt, no question. I was gay. That was it. And what came from that moment onward was a very tough dialogue, in many cases, debate of authenticity to comfort. And those two were in direct opposition to one another for the majority of my younger life. So let's start from here. When did I recognize I was gay? When I looked at that lifeguard. How long did it take me to actually accept it? A good decade. Um, I'll save my coming out story for another time, but I thought if we're going back to the Little Gay Guide and the stories I wanted to tell my younger self, the very, very first one would have been, when did you actually recognize that you're attracted to the men in front of you? Or for any other LGBTQ plus person watching this video, when was that moment for you? And what started your dialogue? And I'm assuming debate of when to put that out there that you're you, unabashedly, unapologetically you. In the next video, we'll discuss we, as if there's another person across, it's just me. In the next video, I'll discuss, I try, unless my meandering mind will take me somewhere else, but specifically this journey to acceptance. What does it mean? What does it mean to be accepted? What is acceptance? And what it took me to feel accepted. This is Ron Zakai, beginning of Little Gay Guide. Kindly yours. Take care.